Okay, so here's your piece of clay. You're gonna divide it in half with this tool. Just cut it through like this. Okay, then we're gonna take one half and we're gonna roll it. It's always good to start by rolling your clay into a ball shape. Okay, and out of this ball it's easy to make a sort of like a snake shape. Can be a little bit more pointy on each side, like this. Okay, and then we're gonna curve it into a U shape, and then each of these sides can be a little bit like this. So that's gonna be tail, and this is going to be head. Okay, all right. So out of this other half of clay, we're gonna cut it again in half, or maybe a little bit less, and then cut it in another half and another, so we get 4 little pieces. Roll each of them into a ball. Okay, and then into a sort of like a cylinder shape. Then we're gonna attach this as legs. Okay, so every time you attach 2 pieces of clay together, make sure to pinch it a little bit. All right, like this. Okay, and 2 legs on another side, like this. Okay, so now you have this main part done. Your dragon can stand now. Okay, so I'm gonna put it aside, and then out of this remaining piece of clay, you're gonna cut it in half, and then we're gonna flatten each piece like in a thin, sort of like a pancake. Don't make it too thin, about just your regular breakfast pancake. Okay, then we're gonna cut it into a triangle shape. The top part, the bottom part you can leave like this, and then we're gonna make 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that's your wing. Okay, 1 wing, and we'll make the same with the other part. Flatten. Okay, not too big. And triangle. Triangle. Cut this out. Right, so now we have 2 wings. We're gonna attach them somewhere here, and you'll see later you might want to rest each wing on the floor, otherwise it might be too heavy. You know, clay, every material has its limit, so clay, you have to always think you know, how to make things, like they can be too thin, or you can make a big shape on top of a small thin shape, because you know your sculpture would collapse. So just do whatever seems to work. Okay, so we have the basic shape. Now out of this remaining clay, we're gonna make a lot of spikes. Just take a little piece of clay, roll it into a tiny ball, then make a sharp one and sharp another one, maybe like a little cone, right? I will make a lot of them. Some can be bigger, smaller. You can even make teeth, tiny shapes for teeth. Okay, so we'll make minimum of, you know, 15 maybe spikes. Okay, so now we'll do details. So okay, so for the head we're gonna cut the mouth opening. Okay. So if you want, you could add teeth here. So it looks scary. Okay, then we can dig 2 holes for eyes. You don't want to leave just holes. You can make another little ball, put it inside each eye, so that eyes will look more realistic. And then you can additionally make a little dot like this. Okay, so if you want cute dragon, you'll probably make big eyes. If you want scary dragon, they might be thinner and smaller eyes. And then you're gonna start adding horns. You have 2 horns. And then you can add all the spikes. They might have spikes along the entire spine, like this, and on the tail part too. You're gonna add all along here spikes like this, and the tail may look pointy or have sort of like this kind of end. Okay. Then you can make legs. You can make like claws like this, you know. So any kind of sharp shapes, they look good on dragon. So my dragon is collapsing a little bit, so that's exactly the reason why you shouldn't lift it like this. But again, I have to do it because otherwise you won't see what I'm doing. Then finally, once you add all the spikes, and as I said, the minimum of 15, but you know, you can make many more. I'll show you on later on a realistic dragon what else they might have. So now make the texture sort of like a scales. So you can either use this kind of tool to create this sort of texture, kind of like fish scales, or you can make something like this. This also looks good. But basically this texture, scales, and spikes is what's gonna make your dragon look like dragon. And finally, wings might also have some spikes. You can add an additional snake, like dividing each of these shapes. That looks good. And you know, a spike on top of each of these. Alright, so I'll show you now. I have a really nice toy here, so I can just show you what else you might want to add on your dragon. So look at the texture, right? The skin is all spiky and scaly. The wings, they might have this kind of texture, which you can literally draw with a stick on the clay. Then look at the legs here. They have 3 spikes and 2 more, and sharp nails. And then look at the head. It might have teeth and tongue sticking out, or even these little things on the chin. 4 horns here, right? So now these might be too long, and they might just break later if you do it in clay, but you can do something like this, or even look at this, there are like more spikes here.